Here's my 1750 points of Astra Militarum. Starting with the Warlord here in the center, he is in a Plasma Executioner with 2 Plasma Sponsons, Heavy Bolter, and of course Plasma Cannon on top. His Warlord trait is Old Grudges, and he also has Kurov's Aquila. Behind him we have 3 Lehman Russ battle tanks. Together these guys form my Spearhead detachment. The tank in the center is a Punisher with 3 Heavy Bolters, and it's flanked on the left and right by 2 standard Lehman Russ battle tanks with Heavy Bolters. Over on the right, you have my Mechanized Infantry platoon, led by the company commander. He has a Power Sword and Plasma Pistol. Then behind him, we have 3 squads of Guardsmen, all using the Talon Doctrine, of course. The sergeants are armed with a Last Pistol and Chain Sword, while each squad also has a Flamer and Voxcaster. We have a Sanctioned Psyker, Premier Psyker there, along with a Commissar to keep the troops in line. Back we have 3 autocannons, heavy weapons teams, and a heavy support squad, along with the platoon leader armed with a chain sword and Last Pistol. And then we have their 3 chimeras. The one on the left there armed with dual heavy bolters. The other 2 have the multi-lasers and the heavy bolters. Lastly, on the left, we have the Tempestus Scions. 3 squads. The one in front here is armed with 2 grenade launchers. The one in back is armed with 2 plasma guns, and the one on the back right is armed with 2 multi-guns. It is led by Tempester Prime and a Nether Primaris Psyker. The psychic powers, he has Night Shroud, and this one has the protection spell to make it +1 armor save. All told, 1750 points, giving me 14 command points, ready to take on the Necrons.
Hey guys, this is my 750 points list of Necrons.
1750.
1750, sorry. My English is today's a little bit bad, but I think you apologize for that one.
Better than my German.
Okay, so my unit consists of a battalion with 3 HQs. I have my Overlord or Command Catacomb Bard, which is also the Warlord. He is Mefrid, and he has the Voltaic Staff, and he has the specific Warlord trait where he can snipe characters, and which gives +6 on assault weapons, which means the Tesla weapon over here is getting +6. Then on the side I have a Cryptek with the Chronometron. I was struggling about the 5+ and the Chronometron, but I want to give the thing a chance. Maybe it works. And I have here Overlord on that side, and he has a Void Scythe. So let's go to the troop choices. Over there you see 2 times in the back you see 2 times Immortals, 10-man squads, all with Gauss Blasters. In front you see 15 Necron Warriors. Then let's go to the fast attack choice. I have 3 Barebone Wraiths. And in the back I have 2 heavy support, Doomsday Arc and Terrasa Arc from Fortress. So that's 1750 points on the nose.
And these are Lich Guard right here behind?
Yes, exactly. I forgot my Lich Guard. Sorry guys.
No worries. 8 guys. Okay.
8 guys of that one, yeah.
8 command points.
8 command points indeed, sir.
Ready to take on the Guard in a rematch, which has been long in the making. Here we go.
What is the location?
Okay, for today's mission we have the Secure Cargo Tactical Objective mission from the basic rulebook. Each player will get 3 cards. What's special about this is if you pull a Secure Objective X card, either player can score it in their turn or any turn, and then you can't discard it. Search and Destroy is the table quarters setup. As you can see here, the Guard are in the lower left, the Necrons in the upper right. One last thing, those buildings will be impassable, as will these new buildings here. And then the river is -2 to charge through. So Simon, you deployed first and finished deploying first, so why don't you go ahead and tell us what you did.
Okay, so because I was kind kind of limited to this quarter like you do. On this flank, Immortals with Gauss Blasters. Inside here, it's hidden, are Lich Guard and Overlord.
Can't even see him there. Yep.
Behind that one is a Cryptek with the Chronometron. Beside the Wraiths, Catacomb Command Combarge, another bunch of Immortals and Warriors. And behind here, quite good in line of sight, Tesseract Arc and the Doomsday Arc.
Alright, I start my deployment zone by putting my 3 units of Tempestus Scions into Deep Strike Reserve, Grav Shoot Insertion, along with the Tempestor Prime. Then I have on the right the Company Commander and a Primary Psyker, and Trusty 1-1 there. 1-2 has a Commissar and a Platoon Leader. 1-3 with a Primary Psyker. That's the one loaded out with 2 Heavy Bolters. You see the 2 Lehman Russ regular standard battle tanks there. Lehman Russ. And then the Executioner, it's the command tank. His Warlord trait is going to allow him to pick the Tesseract Arc as his old grudge, so he will reroll wound rolls against it, as will aim by within 6 inches. We have the Punisher back here hiding, and then the autocannon. So I think with that, Simon, we're ready to see who's going to go first. You get +1 to your roll.
Let's roll some dice.
Alright, Simon gets a 1. War Corgi gets a 4. Would you like to steal the initiative, Simon?
Yes, of course I love it, but we will see. It's a 4, so not here.
Not here, so Guard are going first. Good news, we'll be back with my tactical objective cards after this.
Soldier, Citadel.
Not a great draw for the 17th Shetland Light Dragoons with Kingslayer, very difficult to get this first turn. Witch Hunter, impossible. And Psychological Warfare, Necrons have that notorious leadership 10. So we'll just do as much damage as we can, see what happens. Cautious turn 1 movement for the 17th Shetland Light Dragoons with this Chimera just bumping over a little bit. I pulled him out, making sure that Simon doesn't have line of sight to him with any of the big things back there, but his heavy bolters are now in range. While the tank commander moved up about 8 inches. Both these guys moved less than 5 inches so they can get the double shot. And the big movement was from that Chimera up there. He did drop off this Psyker before he moved. And so now we're ready to go straight into the shooting phase. Shooting for the Imperial Guard, turn 1, start with orders, with the tank commander ordering the tank to the direct front, get behind him in order to move an additional 6 inches to gain line of sight towards the enemy. While the platoon commander gave the heavy weapons squad reroll 1s to hit. Over on the right, I opened fire with the multi-laser and heavy bolter, taking out 1 Necron there, which wasn't a lot, but then the autocannons opened fire as well, managing to take out 1 of the Immortals. Both Lehman Russ tanks opened fired at the unit of Necron warriors, managed to destroy quite a few of them, which will force Simon to take a morale test. 2-1 doing especially well, aiming at the same target. In total, 9 warriors have fallen this turn, especially when combined with the Chimera's heavy bolter. I think took out an additional 2. 1 additional Immortal was taken out from behind, and as a matter of fact, I think that was a heavy bolter from the Chimera. So Simon's going to need a morale check for those warriors, but he is going to spend 2 command points in order to automatically pass that morale. So not a great turn of shooting, but not bad either. We'll take it.
So guys, Necrons Turn 1, missions. I drew Secure Objective 4, Overloading Firepower, and Defend Objective 6.
For reference, Objective 6 is in the center. It's going to be a tough one to defend, and Objective 4 is over by my Chimera. That looks to be more than 3 inches out at this time.
Yes.
Alright, so on to your movement phase. Simon, you already did reanimation protocols.
Yes, I couldn't reanimate neither here Immortal or here, but out of the 9 guys over here, I resurrected 5 guys.
Very good. Alright.
Good indeed.
Now on to your movement.
So hey guys, this is Necrons Turn 1 movement phase, or after finishing that one. I issued my will be done on the Lich Guard by the Overlord and Wave of Command on the Immortals. So on that flank I advanced everything behind of the trees nicely and smoothly. Everything else just moved that way, so Wraiths are going here, also advanced, Lich Guard advanced, Overlord advanced, the Cryptek is here, they just moved the normal way, and the command Catacomb command barge is over here, and yes, and the Tesseract Arc and the Doomsday Arc are stay put.
Okay, no psychic phase for you, so straight on to shooting.
Yes, exactly. Hey yo guys, this is Necron Turn 2 finishing actually. Well, shooting was mediocre at best. Even though I had hot rolling on the heavy d6 rolls for the Doomsday Arc and on the Tesseract Arc, having both times a 6, I was just to manage to able to get 2 hits. Even one time on a Doomsday Arc I used the command point to reroll to get another hit. And I think I just did 1 wound on the Leman Russ. Unfortunately, the damage was also just 1.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with the Tesseract Arc. Also just tripping here in the end, 1 wound away. So what I did else was just using that Gauss Immortals, shooting at this Chimera, hitting on 3 rolling 1s. Managing just to strip off 1 wound in total. So,
and lastly, the command barge stripped 1 wound off of them as well.
And the command barge stripped 1 wound of that one. So actually, it was just throwing with tissue paper at best.
Can't do that against the guard's armor.
No, you can't do that.
No morale checks required for me, Simon. Do you have any cards right now that you are going to be scoring?
Overwhelming Firepower not, Defend Objective not, Secure Objective not, and I am discarding Defend Objective 6, which is there. I'm not going for that one.
Alright.
Because I'm not allowed to discard Secure Objective 4 because of our mission type, so that's a 3 point for you, buddy.
That's going to be that. Alright, somebody needs to get me some cards that I can score. So now on to Imperial Guard, turn 2. Well, the Guard have pulled Secure Objective 1 in addition to Kingslayer and Psychological Warfare, and that's bad news for us. I'll show you why. And that back there, behind all those Necrons, is Secure Objective 1. So Simon, you give me 1, I give you 1, and we'll call it even.
Karma.
Indeed. Alright, now on to our movement phase. Astra Militarum, turn 2, movement phase. I punched that Chimera up to make sure he's securing objective number 4. While the commander went up 8 inches, that air Leman Russ went a little less than 5. And this Leman Russ stayed in place. I punched up this Chimera so it could see those nasty wraiths. He remained in place, as did this Chimera. And then grab, shoot, insertion was a thing. I brought in 2 squads of Scions here. The one on the right has the plasmas, one on the left has the grenades. There's the Tempestus Prime. And over on the right in the woods is another squad of 9 with the Meltas. So, we will go on to the Psychic phase next. This Primaris Psyker just managed to manifest Might on a 5 and did 1 mortal wound to the race, while this one hiding back there has put Psychic Barrier onto the Leman Russ Commander. So now on to the important phase, the shooting phase. In orders, the Tempestus Prime gave this unit reroll 1s to hit, shooting the plasma guns. It didn't really come in handy. While the lieutenant down there gave the autocannons reroll 1s to hit. Didn't come in handy. The tank commander, though, came in handy because he used the get behind them order to move that Leman Russ over 5 inches, and that allowed him to move over another 5 inches after I spent a command point to give him that second order. And so they were both able to shoot at the Necron warriors back there. Combined with the Chimera, I did how many, Simon?
5.
5, okay. Over here, all the Scions, plus some Chimeras, managed to take out 8, 2, 4, 6, 7 of those Immortals. Simon has opted to use his
command points.
2 command points. So he is good there. He won't need a morale check. It was the Punisher that did some wounds and some work on the Wraiths, killing one and putting 2 wounds on another one. Try to finish them off with that multi-laser, but to no avail. That tank was not in a position of shooting by because we've really worked to get some line of sight terrain on the board, as you can see. And the autocannons did no damage. So Simon, I have secured objective 4 for the first point of the game.
Yes.
Now you have a morale check over there. You've lost 5.
So
anything but a 6.
Yeah. So 1 more.
Well, that's good news for me because I still have psychological warfare. So that's my 2nd point.
Yes.
I've doubled my points. But we will now go to Necron's turn 2 and see what he gets. Remember, he can score my secure objective 1. I did manage to shoot him off of that at least. So he might be moving back for that or securing it with somebody. We'll see. Next. Simon, what'd you draw, buddy?
I draw Kingslayer and Psychological Warfare. So Kingslayer maybe not now achievable, but maybe in later stage somehow we shall see.
All right, here we go. Simon, your turn 2 movement phase. Start it with reanimation protocols.
Of course. So on that side with the Necrons, I couldn't get back anything but 1 out of 9 rolls, so that was quite bad. I had a bunch of force. Yeah. Then in the end, I regained here 1 guy, I assume. Yes, I did. So what they did, they just moved up there 5 inches.
Okay.
So reanimation protocols over here. Out of 8, I regained 6 because of the cryptip was near, and then it was fine. I just conga lined them a bit that I can claim that objective and still shoot at the science. The Wraiths moved over here.
They also utilize a stratagem.
Yes, they also use a stratagem. I used enhanced reanimation protocols that counterattack units for 2 command points can get reanimation protocols, and obviously because before the cryptech was near, so it was on a 4 up, so I regained that 1 lost Wraith with full health, so that helps me out, definitely. And yeah, so Lich Guard moved over here, nothing special. Yeah.
Okay, lastly, my wave of command and my will be done. Wave of command and my will be done. Who'd they go on?
Wave of command was on that guys.
Okay.
And my will be done on that guys.
Okay.
So they get +1 to their charge move. So if they maybe can make it there.
Well, they are -2 because they are in the forest, so that would be a long one. But we can try.
And we can try.
All right, so we are now on your shooting phase first. All right, Simon, good turn 2 to shooting for you. Take us through.
Yes, that was really awesome. Doomsday Arc, Ghost Flares, we're going into that science, killing 2. The Doomsday Cannon again was rolling hard on the die roll, so I got 6 shots, hitting 6 times even, wounding 3 times, and destroying finally that Punisher Gatling over there. The Terrestrial Arc did literally the same, but the Tesla Can was going over there, and the Singularity Solar Fire Chamber thingy was shooting at the Chimera, which are, as you can see, just Michael's fingers. And I stripped away their 1 Scion, I assume.
1 guardsman got killed trying to get out, and we should mention that this did blow up, taking with it 1 of the heavy weapon squads.
Yes.
Teams.
So next thing, Immortals were shooting everything what they had with Mephrit code on that squad of Science. It was annihilated. Just these 2 were not in 12-inch range, so no AP-3 on those blasters. Command Catagon Barge, I will also split the fire. Tesla Cannon was going into the outer cans over there, and Voltaic Stuff was going into the Tempesta Scion over there. As you can see, Tempesta Scion was killed.
The Prime, yep.
The Prime was killed, and the outer cannon were finished off. That was the shooting on that side. On that side, the combined firepower of the Immortals and of the Necrons over here were able just to strip away, I think, 2 wounds.
Correct.
That's everything, and we're going now to the charge race.
All right, here we go. Okay, Simon, your turn to charge and fight phase.
So I managed to get the charge inside, but as you can see, I lost 1 rating to the Overwatch.
I played defensive gunners.
Exactly. And I just was able to manage to strip off 2 wounds of that Chimera. That charge over there was a 12-inch charge with my will be done in -2, but I just went for the gambit and nothing happened.
Nope.
That's everything for the points wise. I scored this objective 1 from you.
Yes.
Overwhelming firepower. We did this off camera, so I got 2 more points, so I'm up to 4.
Yes.
And you owe me here a moral check. You used,
I'm playing fight to the death, which means they'll roll a D3 instead of a D6, and with the sergeant there, leadership 7, they cannot fail this.
Yes.
So that did cost me a command point. I'm down to 7. Simon is currently winning 4-2 with the Astra Militarum turn 3 coming up next.
That's a direct order. Do it now.
Guard did not get much help with their cards, still have Kingslayer. Hold the line, which is doable. I just gotta get rid of those wraiths and advance. That's going away. On to my movement phase. The company commander screamed out over the Vox, general order to advance. So the Scions have moved up from their position to get next to these Immortals, as has that unit of Scions. Over here, this unit had just been blown out of its Chimera, has moved up on the Lich Guard, company commander, Premier Psyker right behind. This unit has jumped out of the Chimera that was in combat, along with the Commissar. The platoon leader has emerged from the ruins in order to take down those wraiths. The Psyker who's hiding back there has also moved forward. Chimera moved out of combat, won't be shooting. It's not in the way either. While this Lehman Russ battle tank has moved less than 5 inches, eyeing up a number of targets it can shoot. Over here, those 2 tanks remained in place, added that Chimera, but that unit has boldly moved forward. Using the Talon Doctrine, they advanced. No harm to shooting. Speaking of shooting, we're going to go to the psychic phase, and then to the shooting phase next. Strong psychic phase by the guard as the primary psyker cast smite on this unit. I did need to use a command point in order to get my 7, but he only did 3 mortal wounds to him. Then his apprentice over there cast a super smite on an 11, but only rolled a 1. Having already used the reroll, I was not able to get any more on that. But he's down to 2 wounds as we go into the shooting phase. I'm starting to feel better about this game, Simon. Maybe it was dinner? I don't know. Feel good. Here we go. Productive turn for the guard. As far as shooting is concerned, we were able to use the regimental doctrines for the Tempestus Scions to get some extra hits in total, doing 6 to the Immortals over here, which is pretty good. The company commander didn't manage to win with his plasma pistol, neither did the Commissar with his relic bolt pistol. What did work, though, was first rank fire, second rank fire from these guys, along with, that was it. That was enough to kill him. Over here, this Lehman Russ fired into the Lich Guard, killing 3. Simon did pop a stratagem.
Dispersion field amplifier, meaning that my hyper dispersion fields are getting a free up invulnerable save, and on 6s, you get mortal wounds.
Speaking of mortal wounds, I took 2, but he did kill 3 of those guys, so it was a good trade. And these guys did first rank fire, second rank fire. We traded wounds, killed my guy, put a wound on Simon's guy. Over on this side of the table, without the benefit of orders, these guardmen did manage to take down 2 warriors, aided by the heavy bolters here, and the plasma sponsons and the heavy bolter there. Ended up killing all 5 of them. So that was the second squad of Necrons I killed. The first one being the
Wraiths.
The Wraiths, thank you. And then with the plasma cutioner and the battle cannon, managed to take out a total of 7 of Simon's 10 elite Necron Immortals back here. So overall, very good. We are going to go ahead and charge. In homage to Jake, Imperial Jake, this one's for you, buddy. Let's go to the charge and fight phase. Solid charge by the Tempestus Scions. The squad on the right needing an 8 to get in, rolled an 8. The squad on the left needing an 8 to get in, rolled an 11. Surrounded the Necrons, which was the goal, so they couldn't reanimate. But ended up killing them with the power swords, one from each Tempester. It was pretty good. So at the end of the turn, Simon, you do owe me a morale check over there for the Immortals. You are out of command points to save them. You've lost 7. Plus 4 is an additional 1. Okay, and I have scored hold the line for 1 point, and I'm getting rid of advance. So right now the score is 4-3 favors Simon as we go to Simon's turn 3 next. That was a pretty brutal turn. I'm excited again. Here we go.
So guys, this is Necrons Turn 3. I drew Defend Objective 1 and Witch Hunter, which is possible.
Currently Objective 1's being defended by my Tempestus Scions, who are troop choices. So, witches abound, and Simon has a crazy warlord trait to shoot my character. So we'll see what happens.
So guys, this is a wrap up of the Necron Turn 3. What happened? Shooting.
Let's go reanimation protocols.
Reanimation protocols, I could get back here 3.
Yeah.
On the Lich Guard, I could get back 1, I assume.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was everything shooting. The staff killed the Psyker for Witch Hunter. Tesla and Ghost Slayer array and Staff of Light decimated quite a bunch of these Stormtroopers here. And
big guns.
The big gun stripped away, I think, just 4 wounds.
No, it had 8 and you brought it down to 3, so 5. So close, yeah.
Yeah, and then the Tesseract Arc just finished it off.
Did not explode.
It did not explode. Unfortunately, it would be great if it would have exploded. So what happened, I then, of course, moved up everything here, charged the rest what was there, and just killed everything.
Yeah. So you got Witch Hunter, which gives you 5 points to my 3.
Yes.
And you're in position to defend Objective 1 now.
Exactly.
Which is good news. Alright, so I owe you a morale check over there.
And a 6-1 is fleeing. Yes.
Okay, so I'll lose 1 additional 1. That's no big deal. And we'll go to guard turn 4. Any cards you want to throw away, Simon?
Wait. Kingslayer, where's your... behind there?
Yeah.
I removed Kingslayer.
Alright, so 5-3 going to guard turn 4. This low scoring game. Look at all those dead Scion tokens. Sad.
Lancaster Boulevard.
So the guard still have Kingslayer. Pull Domination, which is control every objective, and defend Objective 4. This back here is Objective 4, where my Chimera used to be. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and see if we can't defend that for 2 points. That would bring us tied. A long way to go. Okay, despite not scoring any points, the guard did do some things. What were those things, you ask? Well, as you know, the 17 Shetland Light Dragoons are one of the fastest regiments in all the Imperium of Man. So this squad up here moved and advanced for a total 10 inches. And then, because I have a Voxcaster, and my commander back here has a Voxcaster, he gave a move, 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 and they have taken Objective 1 for Simon. So he's no longer defending it. That squad consolidated back onto 4 while these tanks shuffled around a little bit. These tanks remained in place while the Primary Psyker jumped in the Chimera for safekeeping. Lastly, the platoon leader is cowering back there. Hopefully the Commissar doesn't find him. So as far as shooting, this Leman Russ battle tank managed to do 3 points of damage to the command barge, and a last gun did a point of damage, so he is at half his starting wounds. He's at 4. The Lemon Russ over there with the battle cannon managed to take out 3 more of those Lich Guard. Their name escaped me just for a second. While the Plasma Executioner managed to destroy all 5 of the Immortals over there. At this point, in the guard turn 4, no one needs to take a morale test, and the score is Simon 5, me 3. Hopefully I will be able to score that Objective 4 defend card, and we'll be all tied up, but we gotta see what Simon can get, because he's gonna try to score as well. On Necrons turn 4, card draw. What you got, Simon?
Okay, so as you can see, I still have defend objective 1. I drew a secret objective 6, which is not good, and most of the warp, which I obviously can't make it. So, yeah, I can't go on ahead on points.
Let's remind him where 6 is. 6 is in the middle of the table, so it's going to be some tough choices for Simon. I think you could probably take it, Simon. It's just going to expose a character or something. So, all right, we'll see what Simon decides to do here in his turn, and we'll bring you back after the end of turn 4 next.
Hey guys, this is Necrons Turn 4 wrap-up. Reanimation protocols gave me back 3 more Lich Guard. The flying cloak of the Cryptek could heal D3 lost wounds on the command barge, because that cloak gives you instead of 1 straight flat wound back, you get D3 and a roll of 5, so he's back to 7, almost full. Again, of course, I moved up here everything and combined shooting. Killed here, that's troopers over here, some troopers over there.
5 infantry over here.
5 infantry over there, and yeah, so obviously no charge. I don't score any point, you owe me their moral test.
Okay, Simon, I am going to use 1 command point here in order to use Fight to the Death, which means I roll a D3 instead of a D6 for morale.
Yes,
so the most I can get is an 8.
Yes.
I have a commissar there, and they'll use his leadership, so I won't lose anybody there.
Okay.
And that was it, right?
Yeah, that was it.
You get no points, but I get 2 for defending objective 4.
So you're even, but next turn I will get my points.
Assuming I don't run up there and grab that from you.
You can go for that one, but you will die.
Oh yeah, that's a given, but we're in the Imperial Guard, that's what we do. Alright, be back with Imperial Guard, turn 5. Come on, good cards.
Launcher, Citadel.
Pulled death from afar, not good. I gotta kill one of his units wholly within his deployment zone with a unit wholly in my deployment zone. Difficult at best. Alright, here we go. Guard turn 5, kill some things. Guard turn 5 with the move order. The squad has taken objective 6 and secured it for 1 point, while these guys just advanced up in order to give those orders. Chimera punched up over here, shooting into the Lord, doing 1 damage. And the Battle Cannon also managed to do 1 damage.
No.
I'm sorry.
Nothing.
Nothing. It was that Battle Cannon.
Just as one damage.
Okay, just got 1 damage. So something did 1 damage to him. That Lehman Russ could not shoot, and those guys could not shoot. Matter of fact, this Lehman Russ could not shoot because he didn't have line of sight either. Anyway, the story is I got Simon's secure objective 6, so I am up 6-5 at the top of turn 5.
No, you're 5-5.
No, I was at 5, now this is 6.
Okay, but I get now 2, so I have a 7.
Oh, you do get 2. Okay, so he's got that going for him. I'm getting rid of Dominion as we go to Simon's turn 5. Simon's not too happy about his cards. I say otherwise.
I mean, supremacy I can get, over the Nile, maybe I have to be in 12 inches.
No, you have to make sure I'm not in 12 inches. 6 inches, really, isn't it?
6 inches or 12 inches for D3.
Well, yeah. If you can kill 5 guardsmen, we'll look at here in a second, and there one secure objective 1. So there's objective 1 for the securing. For reference, I can feel the middle of the board right here. It's right there, so you gotta kill 5 guardsmen for that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one, supremacy, that's a tough one, but you know, maybe. Alright, so your turn, Simon.
Supremacy, I need more, I think more, double the amount of your...
No, you just need to have, we'll have to look.
We have to look, yes.
But, see what you do. Okay, after review, supremacy is control 3. That the hardest pull for Simon out of those 3 cards. Because if he has 1 right now, 5 might be within range behind this bastion. 6 might be in range, but everything else is going to be out of range. So we'll see what he does on his turn 5. Already up 7-6. All right, Simon, your turn 5.
So guys, turn 5. Actually, I did a little bit shopping around. I turtled up here in a way that the Lich Guard is here, so I can put my character over Tesla and the stuff that Guardsman's squad over there. Tesla of this Terrastruct Arc took away 2 wounds of the company commander.
Yes.
The Singularity Chamber, Solar Fire, stripped away 3 wounds of that Leman Russ.
Yes.
And the Doomsday Arc just had line of sight to that Leman Russ and annihilated it. 12 wounds, 12 damage.
Yes. So with Simon's poor card draw, he ended up scoring 2 points. In the end, he was able to kill 5 guardsmen in the middle and secure objective 1. So he's currently up
to 9.
9 to 6. I get to roll to see if the game continues. On 1 or 2, it does not. It does not. Good game, Simon.
Good game, sir.
9-6. Necron victory. Welcome back to the War Corgi YouTube channel.
Yeah.
After an exciting game, and this was the long-awaited rematch between the Necrons and his most Imperial Guard, the 17 Shetland Light Dragoons. As you recall, if you saw the previous game, indexed Necrons did not stand up.
Yeah, which were slaughtered or had to concede.
Yes.
Turn 2.
Yes, and you weren't happy.
Yes, so first of all, I have to say Necrons won. So that's cool. And I think this time you start to talk. Last time
Yeah, I mean, good. I think too. I want to go back to that other game. If you haven't watched it, you really should go back and watch it because it was the introduction of the Imperial Guard and some interesting lessons learned there. I think 2 things changed since that game, though. You got a codex.
Definitely.
Helped out a lot. Made good use of your stratagems and whatnot, and I thought some very interesting stratagems with the Lich Guard, bouncing back wounds and the 3-up involve save, excellent. And then I also think reanimation protocols on your Wraiths came in handy, got Wraith back, and some things like that. And then the other big thing, and it's been slowly improving for the channel, a ton of line of sight blocking terrain.
Of course, this really gave, I think, for both players kind of advantage and disadvantage on both sides, because you could hide your things much more better.
Yes.
On the other hand, you couldn't get line of sight.
Right.
And vice versa. So it was going about actually just like a luring around of the big guns until one is making the first move, getting out somehow of light of sight, and particularly in the last round here with that Leman Russ, there it came handy for me.
It made for a really tactical game, and as we were talking off camera, I think my lesson learned from this game is, number 1, infantry squads and chimeras are still good. I love the Talon Doctrine. I was moving and shooting and able to move those guys all over the place, and they're survivable in there. Unless I run them forward for the Emperor. Scions are still good. They do some things. I knew that I had to kill the Necron squads dead. I wasn't able to do that very well. Always leaving you with 3 or 5 guys or 6 guys left, and you made good use of the stratagem to ignore the morale test.
Yes. So
which I thought was okay because it was making you cycle through your command points pretty good. But in the end, I needed to kill those squads and I didn't. So Leman Russes are still good, but with this much line of sight blocking terrain, what I need to bring out is my mana cores, because those strength 10, D3 damage, AP -2 shots, 2d6 on this type of board, and I love this type of board because, as you mentioned, very tactical game. I need to be able to lob some shots into things I can't see, because I can't push my tanks up too far. I don't have any Ogrins to beat off anybody who's going to be trying to get them in close combat. And you have enough bodies where I'm not going to be able to kill everything, so I need to be able to keep it range and shoot some things that I can't see, and those are going to be the mana cores. And that's my big takeaway. If I would have gotten some better card draws to make you come closer to me, maybe I could have done some more damage. But in the end, that didn't happen. Neither of us had great card draws. It was a very low-scoring game, especially for the type of mission where you can score the opponent's seize objectives. But 9-6, very close. No one loses Warlord. No one gets
line breaker. You got first blood. Made for a very interesting game. So, what do you think?
Well, what I do think, I agree on the tactical thing that it was really tactical. It was just like, as I said before, luring around for that one mistake that you big guns you can shoot. The Doomsday Arc really helps out my list. I mean, the Terrasect Arc is already a beast. It is a beast, but it comes at a price, obviously, and yeah. As you mentioned with the Manicores...
Can I ask, what's the price difference between the Doomsday Arc and the Tesseract Arc as far as points?
Wait, the Tesseract Arc is something above 200, and I think the Doomsday Arc is 250. I have to double check. I don't know exactly the points, but we will double check.
That works. I was going to say, the Doomsday Arc, I think, is a much better vehicle and much more versatile vehicle. They're both good, but that Doomsday Arc was bananas today. It was killing things left and right, and then also
despite the first turn, where it was literally throwing tissue paper.
Yeah, I was getting 6 shots, and it did 2 hits and like 1 wound and 1 damage for the 1 wound. Yeah, it was really poor. After the first turn, it did great, and it has the ability to shoot at both infantry and the big gun
because of the Gauss-Layer rate.
Yeah, and if you get close enough, it's doing 20 shots.
Yeah, when you are rapid fire. So
2 times rapid fire.
But the thing is also of the Terrasect Arc, you also have 3 fire modes. You can take the particle hurricane, which is like a beefed up heavy flamer when you're in 8 inches.
That one.
And the seismic thingy also, where you're making like 3 damage, so on 24 inches. So. But in that case, in both cases, you have to move up that Terrasect Arc, meaning you have to expose it. So mostly you stay with the 48-inch range, strength 8, -3, they 6 damage weapon.
Yeah, I'm not arguing it's not a good model. I just was really impressed with the Doomsday Arc today. I think that's a really great piece of kit. It probably has 14 or 16 wounds.
14 wounds.
Living metal, quantum shielding. I think it's really tough, and I like it.
It doesn't have, for example, invulnerable.
You don't need it with quantum shielding.
Well, in case of your Manicores or your battle cannons, where you have between statistically damage 2.
You're still saving on 5s. It's a 3+ armor save?
3+, yes.
Yeah, so it's like a Lehman Russ.
Yeah, but with the amount of shots, and you have statistically 2s, you just can strip off a lot of wounds, and just quantum shielding is just kicking in.
What's the toughness?
6.
Okay. That's the only place it's not as tough as by Lehman Russes.
Yes, and Terrasect Arc is toughness 7, so it makes a little bit up.
Okay. But quantum shielding is so good that it was really making me not want to shoot at those targets. Plus, I couldn't get them in line of sight without exposing myself, and I wasn't going to win that gunfight with just 2 regular Lehman Russ battle tanks. I love the Executioner. Executioner did well killing infantry, but it only has a 36-inch range, and so if we play table quarters like we did, it's really tough to get it into range. And that was another thing that made this battle really interesting, was the table quarters aspect. We were trading blows from across the entire table.
Yes, exactly. So also in that case, I had in front of the Executioner, I had advantage in range. So.
Yeah,
and that's why you're always pushing in front of your battle cans. Your battle cans can kind of get a shot, but if they can get a shot, I can get also do a shot. So, well, that was a really trade-off all the time. Like, yeah. So overall, also on the left flank, where my warriors and the immortals were approaching your Chimera, and later on your Balkan and Executioner. So my personal idea was that it was like a mini distraction carnifex that you can't let them here inside. So you don't want to have Necron warriors or either immortals near to your tanks that they can charge you. So in that way, actually, I forced you that you just come out from that turtle here over here and then go there. So of course The first round of reanimation protocols on warriors was phenomenal. 5 out of 9 on a 5 class. That was phenomenal. And the amount of shots where they soaked up, that I think I delayed your advance on that side like for 2 or almost 3 rounds.
Yeah, with the way the board was set up, there was only 2 ways out of my corner. I could go left, which I put 2 tanks on, or I could go right, which is where I put my scions on. But with the vehicles, they with those new barracks we got, which are fantastic. Thank you, Micro Studio. Not that you sponsored us and sent them to me for free. I paid for those, but good work on them. It really, my avenues of approach were really choked, as they can be with guard, especially with this much terrain on the table. So I had to go left or right, and I went left anyway. And I didn't feel bad shooting down a warrior squad and a mortal squad. I didn't feel like I had to necessarily, but I thought it was a legit target. So.
In that case, I forced you, well, of course, on both sides, the tactical playing or the positional playing was phenomenal. And in that case, I also assume somehow, yes, make sure that you shoot at them.
Yeah. No, for me, and it was a frustrating game for me. It was a well-played game by you, and you frustrated me a lot of times. Looking at the board right now, you have everything pushed back into your corner essentially and hiding on a line of sight. What I needed to happen was I needed to get up on points and needed to force you to come towards me in the center, which was the only open terrain in the board, so I could get some shots. Because where I did see you, I was killing you. I just couldn't get enough of your forces forward into a kill zone to make it matter.
Yes, exactly. I agree on that one. Well, when I watch over here the tactical objectives, I think 4 out of 6 are on that first half, on your half side of the objectives. So you had there an advantage. So if you would have been more luckily with card draws, you could actually quite easily win it by points.
Yeah,
and then in that case, you would have forced me to get out because I had then to go more risk and going for your tanks.
You know, at points, I held 4 or 5 objectives during a turn, and unfortunately, this was not a mission that rewarded holding objectives. Certainly didn't come up for my cards. I think I stole 2 from you. You stole from 1 on the secure.
Yes.
And then you scored 1 or so. But you know, in this case, I think I had better board control as far as objectives, but in the end, it didn't matter.
Yes, it didn't matter. So one thing I like about the Method on the Catacomb Barge is that you have this voltaic staff with the Wallow trait, that it improves your range on up to 6 inches, and that you're able to shoot at characters.
Yeah.
So this helped me a bit to, first of all, it secured me 1 victory point. Second of all, I was able to kill buffing characters like the Tempest Prime, which will obviously gives you buffs, and that was really making for that one. Strength 6, AP -3, 2 damage, and on 6s you get additional mortal wound if you wound on 6. So
I think the most important thing about that barge, though, is it's a character,
yes.
and you can only shoot it if it's the closest thing.
Yeah.
And then that Scarab Hive sleeve cape thing.
The
super.
That was really cool. Well, that's also a gambit because you restore into instead 1, you restore to 3. So
it also lets you fly and move 10 though. So.
Yeah, fly and move 10 roll, but I trade that one for a 5 of invulnerable save.
Totally worth it, in my opinion.
Totally worth it. Well,
totally worth it.
Well, in that case, maybe I would go as for a second cryptech, which is going behind, for example, like over there behind that warriors, and then I have a 5 of invulnerable save. So.
Yeah, but the thing with that is a lot of really good choices for Necron command units. So you have to bring a Supreme Command detachment or something to get more headquarters in.
Yes, exactly.
And that becomes difficult because the Lord allows you to reroll 1s to wound. Fantastic.
1s to hit.
The Overlord rerolls 1s to hit.
Yes, and the
With
Lord.
the Codex, the Lord gives you ones to wound.
Yes, so I'm thinking about also to bring in a simple Lord. So
Cryptex, keep bringing those guys back. And then you got the barge on top of that. You got a whole lot of good choices. And playing around with my wife's Necrons, just making lists. And that's one of the key decision points there is what kind of headquarters you bring and how many. Because you can go nuts with that, especially with destroyers and things like that. Anyway, I think some people give the Necrons... they don't think they're so hot when you look on the internet sometimes. I think they do what Necrons do. They're incredibly resilient, and if you can't kill them, they just keep coming back. I like them.
I also think so. I mean, they're not this no-brainer army. Honestly, as I probably already said it before, now Guard is like almost a no-brainer army. You can... when you see this tournament list where you have 6 Leman Russes, then some Guard...
You don't see any tournament lists like that. You see them with like 80 Catachans or something like that. Some Basilisks and stuff, but
anyhow, I mean, Guard is actually an army. Well, it rewards you quite easily with a good unit like the Leman Russ with a lot of bodies, and you can mix everything for a reasonable price. I know he doesn't like it, but it is how it is.
I don't think it's true. I think they're a good army, and there are certain builds that you can make Guard where you don't have to make any decisions. But mine is definitely a running gun Guard army, and one of the decision points I made to bring the Scions in turn 2 was, do I go after Simon's vehicles or go after the infantry? I ultimately decided for the infantry because melted guns don't do good against quantum shielding. Particularly
if they roll 6.
Yeah, and then they were looking at those Gauss flare arrays that were going to destroy them, so they stayed away from that. You got psychic powers to play around with, you have orders to play around with. I think it's a much easier... It is not much easier. It is a less difficult army to play than Witch Cult, but I don't know. It's not easy.
Yeah. I think one thing what was maybe my mistake, or maybe it was a mistake, but it saved my day actually afterwards, because in that, I think, turn 2, when I moved up my Wraiths for that charge into that Chimera, I was thinking about actually to advance my Lich Guard behind him to support that Wraiths. But honestly, I don't know why, for any reason I didn't do that one. And that actually helped me out, because later when he dropped there his Scions and everything, I was able to move my Lich Guard back and just slaughter them. So yeah, but in that case I traded off the Wraiths.
Yeah.
Particularly with your 4 mortal wounds on the Smite.
Yeah, the Wraiths really did not accomplish anything for you this game. They scared the heck out of me, so that counts for something.
Definitely.
But they took two wounds off a Chimera and stopped it shooting 1 turn.
But also they soak up some firepower.
Sure, yeah, 3-up invul save helps out. There's a reason why I bring 2 primary psychers.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not as good as Bulgrins at getting things off of you when they get you tied up in combat, but Smite can take some guys off.
Particularly you managed to have that Super Smite, but there you were unlucky.
Yeah.
With that one you could actually have roasted my Graves, and then in that case you could just dedicate your whole firepower into the Lich Guard.
Yeah, that would have been nice, but not this time, unfortunately. But overall, really good game. Yeah,
really good game on both sides, I would say. So finally I won one time again, Michael, because normally it's always like I'm mostly losing, particularly, for example, when you remember that specific Drukhari Necron game where I just had to shoot up that one Scourge. Yeah, this is haunting me.
W.
This is haunting me until today.
W. Yeah, that really has haunted you. Yeah, no, it's been a little while, but our games are always really close fought, and it's never really clear who's going to win, except for that one Necron game against the Guard the first time.
Yeah, that was really heavy. I had to choose something after that one. That was really hard for me.
Yeah, I remember. We had to delete one of the outtakes because of strong language. Anyways, really good game tonight, Simon. You definitely deserved this victory. It was a good, hard-fought game, but you outplayed me. And the scoreboard shows at the end, so congratulations to you.
Thanks to you also for being always a good opponent, because when you have a good opponent, you can just get better, not worse. And
that's right.
For my list of thinking, well, Wraiths are, as I said, are scaring a lot of people. They can do some work done. I'm not going for whipcords or any shooting things.
Yeah. To me, when I make my Necron list, you have to run them in greater numbers, and you have to run some scarabs with them as well. Put them as Novak Dynasty.
Novak, yes.
And then they can really start doing some damage. But just 3 Wraiths in an otherwise shooty list with, to be honest, your Lich Guard are not an assault unit, they're a counter assault unit.
Yes.
You're relying on people to get into you, and then they counter assault. You're not going out and finding targets with them.
But anyhow, even if you are going to this so-called, as I said, kill zones, you can still power with your stratagem. You have a free up invulnerable on that guys. They have 2 wounds apiece.
Yep.
A pop, so they are quite resilient. And well, next time
they come back.
And they come back. Exactly, they come back. If you don't finish them up, they come back. Particularly with that super fast cryptek, which you can just and it's flying, so you just it's there, just 10 inches. It's in front of there. So well, yeah, that's really supplements the Lich Guard. They are counter units, so well, it's always the thing if you are going how you have to round up your army, because I could go actually also completely shooty, but the thing is you can still throw a lot of bodies on time you have in close combat. I will win this one by attrition, but
yes.
every round of Necrons which are in close combat and can't shoot is a lost round for me. And
yeah, I mean with regular warriors and immortals and things like that, but they certainly have in their Canaptic choices.
So that's why I tried this time to make like a kind of balanced army, that you have one unit like this Wraiths to scary people. Well, they didn't do a lot, but they did. They soaked up firepower enough for me. Reanimation protocols brought back that one guy. Fantastic. And as you said, Lich Guard is counter unit. So yeah, you need something counter, because you don't want to just throw your warriors for a counter attack.
Right. Sure. No, and Lich Guard, because they're slow, but because they're resilient, make a good counter assault unit as opposed to an assault unit. So.
Yes.
Okay.
So that was everything from my side. Probably next time we will probably optimize our list or try something new.
Yeah, there'll be mana cores in it with this much terrain. There'll be mana cores in it.
That's obvious. But for that thing, I will have probably the Night Shroud wheel, so I can deep strike a unit plus the Overlord 9 inches away.
Well, at least you now have the emergency disembarkation stratagem.
Yeah, that is good. So, well, next time maybe also take some how are they called? Night Shroud bombers.
Yeah.
For killing a little bit Manicores if you place them. So there are still possibilities to somehow do some stuff.
This is how arms races begin, because now I gotta get Hydras.
But I don't have to buy the Night Shroud because I already have it.
Okay, so I think before we close it out, I just have one thing to mention. Jake, did you see that charge of the Besiccions? I'm sorry, the Kasrkins.
It's not Kasrkins. You're 17th.
Those. Yeah, so actually they're Shelties.
Shelties. Yeah, exactly. It's not Kasrkins.
Yeah, they're Shelties. But charging into those Necron Immortals and wiping them out with the power swords. Jake, you gotta love it. Gotta love it.
I think so, but
I heard his voice. It's like, Mike, You gotta charge! And overcharge your plasmas! I ignored the overcharged plasmas, but I was like, alright, Jake, I'm gonna charge.
You're not Jake, because Jake is really badass. He's always overcharging. There's no button ifs. If you play against Jake, well, probably you guys in, I think he's now in Fredericksburg.
Yeah, well, he's elsewhere. That's what's important.
Yeah, so you will probably get to know him. You always overcharge, and he will always charge you.
And he's fun as all get out. So, Jake, that was for you. I hope you enjoyed this battle report. I know you're a subscriber, Jake. Anybody else watch this battle report after this wrap up? You haven't subscribed yet? Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the alert button, and certainly give us a like, especially if you enjoyed this very close competitive game of Warhammer 40,000, which was a ton of fun.
It was really awesome game today.
All right, y'all. Thanks again for watching. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.